If you're watching this video, the odds that you will be a successful trader making more than $13,000 a year in 5 years is less than 1%. If you just started trading, the odds that you'll quit trading within a month is 40%. The odds that you'll quit trading within 3 years is 87%. The odds that you'll be profitable after 6 months of trading is only 13%. And the odds that you'll be profitable for over 5 years is only 1%. So that means if this video gets 10,000 views, only 10 of you will go on to make more than $13,000 a year after 5 years. And probably only one of you will go on to be ultra successful in trading. There's even a common saying in trading that 90% of people lose 90% of their money in 90 days. And as somebody who's taught people how to trade for a long time, I've seen it firsthand, unfortunately. And to some extent, it's not really about who's teaching you or what you learn. Although those things can, dramatically help you, what it's really about is yourself. Why are you still here? The odds of failure is so high. Why are you here? Why are the thousands and thousands of people still trying to learn how to day trade? Isn't there easier ways to make money? Couldn't you just go work a job? Couldn't you buy and sell real estate? You could sell life insurance. There's so many other things that you could do in this world to make money. But why trading? Why is it so attractive to you? And I think we all know the answer. Right? It's not a big secret, The people who do surpass the rest and who do achieve the 1% of the 1%. I mean, you're talking about unimaginable amounts of money. Not even just life-changing money. You're talking about generational changing money. You can make as much as you want in this career. People see the Lamborghinis, the private jets every day, the Richard Milles, the fucking tens of millions of dollars a year in profits. I only work for 30 minutes a day. People see that and they get convinced that trading is for them. And why haven't you quit yet? Well, you're not part of the 99%. You're not part of the 87% that's going to quit after 3 years. That can't be you. You have drive. You have motivation. You want this more than anybody. So the probabilities don't apply to you, right? Why don't they? Because I've seen it time and time again. The most driven, the most disciplined, successful people in other avenues of life come to trading and fail every single day. Why are you going to succeed? If you were smart, you would quit. You enter the arena of trading where, ironically, chasing the success that you're after is probably the most unsuccessful thing that you could possibly try to do. Any intelligent person would just stop. But you're still watching. You're still learning. You're still on the charts every single day. You're still here. You've been losing for months, or you've been break even for years, and you're still here. You sit at your desk every single day. Why are you here? From the outside, you look like a fucking psychopath. I know I did. To give you a little bit of background on myself, I did beat the odds. I am the 1% of the 1%. I did do the crazy thing of looking at the statistics and the proof of failure in the eyes and telling it to fuck off. I think I'm a little bit too fucking psychotic to quit. I stumbled upon trading when I was 16 years old. At that time, I didn't even know you could make a lot of money, to be honest. It's not like we were ultra poor at that point, but there was definitely times in my life where we were very, very poor. And yet I looked around and there's people making millions of dollars a year, spending millions of dollars a year. They'll wear a $100,000 watch on their wrist. I didn't even know what a fucking $100,000 was back then. That I couldn't comprehend that number. That didn't make sense to me. I didn't know a single person in my entire life who even made like $60K a year. It just didn't make sense to me. But yet, the fact that it didn't make sense to me was the moment that I started questioning why I couldn't do what they were doing. I looked around at all the people in real life working jobs for companies they really don't care about too much. Even if they like their job, it's not like they really cared about their company. And no matter how hard they worked, it's not like their salary increased. It stayed the same. The average American spends 35% of all their time on this earth working. And they're not even working for a lot. Most of them are still paycheck to paycheck. Nobody's life is getting better. Year over year, inflation gets worse. Things get more expensive. Rent gets higher. Cost of living gets higher. Salaries don't get higher. The amount of money that you're making at your job doesn't get higher. You might get a half a cent raise a year. That doesn't beat fucking inflation. Nobody teaches you how to get rich. Nobody shows you. In fact, the way that they teach you to do the right thing, quote unquote, is quite literally exactly what's going to put you in this fucking cyclical spiral. And you might not be in poverty, but you're going to be chained to like middle class for your whole life at best. So when I was 16, I started to realize this. I didn't want to go down that path. I was attracted to trading because you got a lot of time. You're your own boss. You don't have a lot of responsibilities at all. Just make sure you manage your risk and stay disciplined. How hard could it be? It's not like owning your own company where you have to worry about your employees and all this other stuff, albeit you could be successful in that vertical. It's not the same as trading. Honestly, nothing in the world is quite the same as trading, and I think that's why a lot of people are attracted to it. But how hard could it be, man? Flash forward 6 months. Every single dollar in my bank account is gone. I had learned a trading system. I understood the charts. I was spending 20 hours a day. I'm not even joking. 20 hours a day. Every single day. Sitting in front of a computer, staring at it every single day. All charts, all the time. All I did, I lived and breathed it. I wanted to find success in trading more than really anything because I loved it. You could ask me about price action from 4 months ago and I could refer to that off the top of my head because I studied these charts so much. I knew about everything that had ever happened, every candlestick that had ever printed. I analyzed every single chart of all the major asset classes in the entire world. I was on them all day long. All I did was watch them. I set alerts that would wake me up mid-sleep just because of an event happening on the chart. Sometimes not even to trade it, but just to watch it. I was obsessed. Some people would call me psychotic, to be honest. I would have even, to be honest, from the outside, I would even describe myself as psychotic in those times. And yet, here I was. Bank account drained. I couldn't even trade if I wanted to. So how did we get here? How did we get to this point where I was more obsessed than anybody? I was better on the charts than anybody. I put in more work than anybody. I put in more time than anybody. I put in more effort than anybody. I did more than anybody did around me. And not just double or triple. Whatever the next person was doing, I was doing 10 times of it. So where did I go wrong? Why didn't I quit? I should have. So where did I go wrong? How did I end up with nothing in my bank account? So I didn't want to admit it at the time, but I had a gambling problem. A real one. I wasn't losing on the charts because I didn't particularly know what price action was going to do. You know, there was part of it where maybe I could have defined my strategy a little bit more. I could have done something better. But I did put a lot of time in. And I knew what I was doing in the market. But I had a gambling problem. Oh man, you should have seen me. I had a gambling problem and I didn't want to take losses. I remember, I'll tell you the story of the most common way I would blow an account. Which, by the way, at this period of time, I was blowing accounts almost every single day. So I'll take a trade. It would go in my favor even. The second that it wouldn't draw down, I would, out of for whatever reason, in the back of my brain, something just snapped and I would remove my stop loss. And as my hands were moving the mouse to take my stop loss off, I knew I shouldn't have been doing that. My brain was screaming at my body to stop, but my body would not stop or remove the stop loss. Add to the loser. It goes lower, add again, until my whole account is on the line. If I lose, the account's blown, and if it wins, it's a huge winner. And I crave that moment so much. I craved the feeling of risking everything for a massive reward. The odds of losing were so high, but the slim chance that I could make a huge amount of money, that's what fueled me to do it. At that time, I was a player in the casino. I was a degenerate gambler. And I didn't care about money at all. In the future, I would realize that this uncaringness about money would ultimately potentially help me in my journey, but at this time, it definitely didn't. And so that's what I did. I never allowed myself to take a loss. And the reason is because if I took a loss, it means I was wrong about the market. And if I was wrong about the market, that attacks my personal being, because my whole being was trading. Like I said, I breathed, ate, slept, everything about trading. I lived trading. And if I was wrong about what the market was going to do, that was going to attack all the work that I just put into the markets over the past few years. That goes against everything that I wanted. So I couldn't be wrong. I wouldn't let myself be wrong. I'm not going to take a stop loss. I'd rather lose my entire account than be wrong on one idea. That was my thought process back then. And so ultimately, the conclusion to that way of thinking is exactly what happened. I ran my bank account to zero. I had nothing. I had nothing at all. I could have easily gone the way of the 99%. In that moment, a moment that I think every trader will have before they find true success. A pivotal moment. You get to make a choice. And the choice is about control. In those moments where you want to do something fucking stupid, you want to remove yourself, you want to remove your stop loss, add to the position. The whole time, every single time I entered those numbers to add, every single time I could have gotten break even instead of wanting it to let it run for a bigger profit. All of those times where my body was making decisions and my brain was screaming at it to stop because I knew what I was doing was bad. But the possibility of being able to risk so much for such a high reward was overpowering. I was literally a slave to my mind at that point. And that pivotal moment is what I think every single trader will end up having at one point. I've helped and taught hundreds of traders at this point. After like 3 months, I've never met a single trader ever who was losing because of technical analysis. It doesn't happen. It's not real. You're not losing because of the fucking charts. You're not a losing trader because you need a better trading strategy. You are a losing trader, period. You are a losing trader. The system is not a losing system. You are a losing trader because most people are a slave to their mind. And discipline in trading isn't like discipline in real life, because there's uncertainty in trading. In real life, if I'm disciplined, I eat healthy, I go to the gym every single day, I'm in a calorie deficit. Guess what? I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to put in muscle. And that's going to happen, guaranteed. In day trading, if you do everything right, you follow the perfect strategy, you're disciplined, you always do risk management, you use a loss limit, it doesn't mean you're going to make money. It doesn't mean you're going to make money at all. But that's still a prerequisite for you to have the chance to make money. So a lot of people ask me, what was the turning point? Why did you keep going? When did you start being profitable? It was that moment. I mark that day as probably one of the most pivotal moments in my trading ever. I remember it. I used to live like a degenerate back then. No lie, I'm still a little bit degenerate. But I used to live like a complete degenerate back then. Room was completely filled with fucking trash. Because I didn't care for anything else except my trading. My hygiene was horrible. There was like rotting food on my fucking desk and shit. Nothing was taken care of. I put all my effort and all my time and all my care into trading, and I let everything else fall away. And in that moment where I ran everything to zero, that whole identity of being a trader was completely, I guess, torn down. And I just sat there in the dark, in the cold. I didn't have a shirt on, no shoes, pacing back and forth in my room filled with fucking trash after a binge of just losing fucking everything. And I paced back and forth for like 2 hours that night, nonstop. And I remember just in my head, just what the fuck is wrong with you, man? What is wrong with you? It's like fighting a demon in your brain. And that was the only time that I've ever contemplated quitting trading. I thought, well, maybe I should just go get a job. Maybe this isn't for me. I put so much effort into this. Maybe this isn't something that I'm supposed to do. People like me who are in the circumstances that I'm in aren't supposed to make money like this. People like me that are in the circumstances I'm in are not supposed to be successful. I don't even know nobody successful. Why the fuck do I think I could be successful? Especially in a field like trading where nobody succeeds. And I made a choice in that moment to give myself one more chance. And this was going to be the penultimate try. No more fucking gambling tendencies. No more lying to myself. No more not being disciplined. No more telling myself I was going to do something and then not doing it. If I say I'm going to enter a trade here, I'm going to enter the fucking trade there. If I say I'm going to put a stop loss, I'm going to leave it. If a thought comes up in my head saying, oh, I want to remove this, I'm not going to act on it. I need to develop a habit of making the words and the thoughts that come into my brain truth and not a lie to myself. Because if you get in the habit of lying to yourself, nothing you think or say can be trusted. And in trading, you're the only person you can trust. So if you can't trust yourself, you're fucking hopeless. And from that day onward, things changed. And if it didn't change, I wouldn't be here. I would have quit. Realistically, I still would have been just as degenerate. I'd probably be fucking dead based off health problems. I was eating McDonald's and shit every single day. Not saying I eat the healthiest now, but it was horrible back then. I would have been working some dead-end job, knowing that I left something on the fucking table. Because I couldn't get over this idea that I was a slave to my own mind. And that's why the odds are against you in trading. It's not because of some technical fucking analysis. It's because you yourself are stacking the odds against yourself. You have to have that conversation with yourself. And you have to be real about it. You have to give yourself an ultimatum. Are you going to succeed or are you not? And if in that moment I decided that I was not going to change, if I just loaded up another account and decided, you know what, I'm going to blow it like I blew all the last 150 accounts. I'm going to keep gambling. I'm going to feed into these thoughts that keep coming into my brain telling me to fucking risk more money, Maybe one day you'll hit big. I wouldn't be the trader I am today. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. I wouldn't have mid 8 figures in fucking assets. I wouldn't be doing multi-million-dollar months. None of that shit would be real. 99% of traders do fail. Most traders do quit trading. But for those of you who don't want to quit, who feel like this is the only option, even if there's other avenues you think you could be successful in, you feel like this is the one that you want, you have to fight your fucking demons. You have to fight your demons. And you have to fucking win. Trading is not unattainable. You can be the 1% of the 1%. You can. And to be honest, it's fucking easy. I hate when people say trading hard. It's not. Trading is not hard. You make trading hard. How fucking easy can trading be? Use this strategy. Use this risk management. Don't be a retard. Manage your risk well. You make money over time. The thing that makes trading difficult is the person executing. Why are you not fucking disciplined? Why aren't you being patient? Why are you such a fucking pussy that when you take a loss, you decide that you're going to blow your entire fucking account in that moment? Why? And I'm not even quite necessarily talking to you, to be honest. I'm talking to myself from back then. Because these are the conversations that I would have with myself every single time this shit happened. I was so frustrated, bro. Every single time I did some stupid shit, I would sit down in my brain, even out loud sometimes. What the fuck is wrong with you? I wasn't in control. And let this be a lesson not just of trading, but of real life. Anything you ever want to be successful in. Ever. You're one individual human. You have control of one thing in your life, and that's your brain. You don't know what the fucking charts are going to do. You don't know what your boss is going to say. You don't know what the weather's going to do. You don't know if you're going to fucking die tomorrow. But you know what you can control? If a thought comes across your head, you have the ability as a human being to decide if you're going to act on it or if you're not going to act on it. And those moments of decisions is what is going to determine if you are going to be in the 99% of people who fail at fucking everything they do in life, or if you're going to be the 1% of the 1% that become extremely successful and beat all the fucking odds. People like me aren't supposed to be fucking here, man. People like me are not supposed to be fucking successful. The world doesn't want that shit. They don't want you to be successful either. Nobody does. Nobody let us in. It wasn't an easy fucking elevator ride to the top. The barriers that get set up in your mind, you have to break them down. The demons that infiltrate your fucking thoughts, you have to murder them. Don't be a slave to your mind. Wake the fuck up. And if not, you're just going to become another fucking statistic. Be fucking scared of that, to be honest. People say, oh, you shouldn't be fear of failure, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, be fucking scared of failing. You want to know why? Because it's a miserable way to go. You want something so bad that you know you could achieve if you just stopped being fucking stupid. And then you fail at that. And now you're sitting at some shit that you hate forever and always for eternity. In the back of your mind, you're going to be thinking, damn, I wish I was able to overcome these things that I couldn't overcome. But don't be a fucking slave to your thoughts, man. And if you're struggling like crazy right now, you can't understand why you're doing the dumb shit that you're doing. Just understand, I was in that same fucking place not too long ago, to be honest. And every single person who has ever been successful was in that same fucking place. And every single person who has ever failed at trading was in that same fucking place. But only 1% of people can admit their problems to themselves and really sit with that. And admit to that. And conquer the fucking demons in your mind. And that's not too fair, isn't it? I think it's perfectly fair. I think it's a perfectly fair game. So if you want to quit, quit. If you want to go do something else that's easier, go do something else that's easier. But don't be the fucking person that wanted something so badly, put all your time and effort into it. Don't be the person that lets their own mind get in the way of your potential success. Don't fucking be that guy.